Donald Trump just announced on Truth Social that he ain't associated with Project 2025 to any degree. But that makes this video that much funnier.
So I've got something that may be useful for you. I was talking to some people today and we were talking about how to win the election in November, and I said, well, one thing we need to do is more messaging. For example, did you know that only 1 in 4 Americans have ever heard of Project 2025? 1 in 4. I said, do you know what Project 2025 is? You know, it's the plan that Republicans have in place that they're going to execute in the first 180 days if Trump is elected. And they were like, yeah, kind of, but can you give us some talking points? And I was like, okay, sure. So here they are in case they help you. And caveat, of course, before I start, Project 2025 is a very long document. And so to give like a 2-minute...
So she's here giving like talking points to people who don't know about it. What?
Little spiel on it is hard, but I'm going to try. If you're talking to a friend on the street corner and you just want to give them the highlights, try this. So you can start by saying something like, did you know that there is a large...
First of all, you can start by going to research for yourself. But anyhow, you can start by...
group of billionaire right-wing Christian nationalists who has put together a blueprint for the next Republican president, which will assumedly be Trump. It's called Project 2025. It's 920 pages long, and it is a thorough plan for how they're going to change the country fundamentally to a place that is unrecognizable to almost all of us. Project 2025 is basically a plan for systematic taking apart the federal government, which means that all of the things we rely upon in the federal government, Social Security, Medicare, veterans benefits, the EPA, workers' protections, all those things dismantled. Project 2025 has a very clear plan to extend the powers of the executive branch and give the president the powers of basically an autocrat. The president would then use those powers to issue executive orders that would basically reverse a lot of our civil rights. Contains a plan to redirect the military to support domestic law enforcement, and that includes using the Insurrection Act to stop protests on U.S. soil that the administration doesn't agree with. It will remove pretty much all government protections from LGBTQIA people and criminalize many of them. It will reverse racial equality, attack diversity, and reverse all environmental gains. It will replace secular education with a Christian theocracy, and there is a specific plan to get rid of the Department of Education completely. It's going to use something called Schedule F to remove 50,000 civil servants on day one, and they will recruit and train 20,000 conservatives to fill those jobs. Those conservatives, by the way, will be required to take a sort of loyalty pledge where they say that the election in 2020 was stolen. Otherwise, they will not be hired. Historically, our defense policy has been one of defense. They want to change that to offense. Require U.S. foreign policy and U.S. aid to align with a pro-life agenda, and use a very old law that is already on the books called the Comstock Act to ban all abortion and likely most birth control.
That is not true. That is not true.
Possibly be true. The great news is this is all online and they can go read it themselves. That's how unashamed these people are of this plan. They're not even hiding it. So encourage your friend to do their own research. 1 in 4 Americans understanding that this is Republicans' plan is not enough. So spread the word. And then for God's sake, help us win.
Talking about only 1 in 4 Americans know about Project 2025. Here's some talking points. Somebody else said, well, 4 out of 4 Americans know that Trump ain't got nothing to do with it at all. That's why I'm watching this next video and that video. Oh my gosh, I love it.
The Republican Party's agenda for women in this upcoming 2024 election is pretty clear. They want us married to men and having their children, and that is the only thing they want for us. They don't want us to be single mothers. They don't want us to be in same-sex relationships, and they definitely do not want us to be childless. If you don't believe me, this came directly from their playbook, The Mandate for Leadership, on Project 2025's website. Let's start here. On page 13, promise number 4 says that they want to secure our God-given individual right to enjoy the blessings of liberty. They say the pursuit of the good life is found primarily in family, marriage, and children. On page 451, one of their goals for the Department of Health and Human Services is to promote stable and flourishing married families. Families comprised of a married mother, father, and their children are the foundation of a well-ordered nation and healthy society. Unfortunately, family policies and programs under President Biden's Health and Human Services are fraught with agenda items focusing on, quote, LGBTQ equity, quote, subsidizing subsidizing single motherhood, disincentivizing work, and penalizing marriage. These policies should be repealed and replaced by policies that support the formation of a stable, married, nuclear family. Working fathers are essential to the well-being and development of their children, but the United States is experiencing a crisis of fatherlessness that is ruining our children's futures. Mind you, nowhere in here in this entire document are they addressing the root cause of fatherlessness at all. At no point have they held fathers accountable for this, but I digress. In the overwhelming number of cases, fathers insulate children from physical and sexual abuse, financial difficulty, or poverty, incarceration, teen pregnancy, poor educational outcomes, high school failure, and a host of behavioral and psychological problems. By contrast, homes with non-related boyfriends present are among the most dangerous place for a child to be. HHS should prioritize married father engagement in its messaging, health, and welfare policies. So they are pushing that women stay married to the fathers of their children.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm listening to that whole thing like, hey, how are you against this? What is wrong? And then she had to insert her shade. And in no way, shape, or form are they holding men accountable and telling them the truth as to why, you know, the fatherless. It's like, come on, man. They're addressing that fatherlessness is the issue for varied reasons and so many different factors. But of course, they ain't finna go into every little detail. Like, come on, huh? But anywho, even though all that was, you know, fine and dandy, I guess, Trump had nothing to do with it. Right here, the Truth Social, right here. Real Donald Trump. I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them. Bow. That man right there. Somebody in the first comment you see right there, right here. It says they'll ignore this and keep saying it anyway. Yeah, man, you're totally correct.
Recently, I've been asked a lot of questions about Project 2025 and what exactly it is. So let me answer this question for you. Project 2025 is a conservative right-wing agenda that was created by the Heritage Foundation, not Donald Trump. And recently, the media has been gaslighting the American voters into believing that Project 2025 is President Trump's agenda if he is reelected. But that is not the case. In fact, President Trump does have an agenda, and it is not Project 2025. It's called Agenda 47. That is the plan, the policies that President Trump will put in place if he is reelected in 2024 to serve as the 47th president of the United States. Project 2025 has never been supported or endorsed by President Donald J. Trump. The media has used it to scare voters into not voting for Donald Trump.
Get out my comment section with the goop. Project 25 is old news. That's for all the Googled educated fools. I'm serious. Y'all said the same thing when Trump got in office the last time. And Nathan happened. No, we didn't have to go back to our country. He didn't enslave black people again. This is just some conspiracy bullshit that the left made up, Project 25, to push people to not, because they fixing to lose. Period, Pooh. And I'm not fixing to vote. But I've always believed that Trump is a better option than what the hell is up in there. Even if I was a Biden supporter, why the hell would I want to vote for Biden the way he looking? That's how I know these people are afraid of Trump. And whoever win, let the best man win. However, he is definitely a better option. Like, come on now. Ain't nobody falling for... But you people that need to get the hell off the damn internet and go get a real library book. Man.
Haters gonna say it's fake. They're gonna be like, nah, Trump ain't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, here's the proof right here, just from his account. Oh, no, that wasn't him. No, none of that. But y'all remember this? We played this clip in a previous video where if Trump wins, we are doing this show in a camp, is what one of the anchors said. Funny because it's true. My prediction on MSNBC about how Project 2025 will impact us is what they wrote. So let's go ahead and check this out, man. Let's see how Joy Reid. I think I'm gonna stop the sentence right there.
If Trump wins, we're doing this show in a camp somewhere. You know, that's the reality of the world we live in right now. You know, more you, Joy, than me. I'm like on the second tier of people, maybe the third tier of people they're coming for. You're way up there. I mean, that's the truth. Michael Steele, you're gone. So here, the reality is, I don't know what more to tell people. This election is not Trump versus Joe Biden. It is Trump versus democracy. It's Trump versus freedom. It's Trump versus self-determination. It's Trump versus abortion. It's Trump versus women's health care. It's Trump versus climate change. It's Trump versus gun violence and saving lives from that. It's Trump versus us having a right to decide our future, or Donald Trump and his minions in Project 2025, they deciding it.
Actually, it's Trump versus the DOJ. That's really what it is. I don't know if y'all know it. I don't know if y'all been hip to it. I don't know who told you. I don't know if you can see. But yeah, it's really Trump versus the DOJ right now. You know, Biden, it's political opposition right now. Because we all know that if Biden was to run off of purely his results and himself, you know, his ideals alone, we ain't going for that, bro. We already experiencing it. We know what it feel like. We know they know what you said and what you didn't. I mean, what you didn't do. And yeah, we ain't falling for none of this BS no more. So yeah, y'all think he's gonna get in here and just be this dictator and yada yada yada? Really what it is, y'all are threatened because y'all see the world is peeling back that mask and starting to actually be curious about the truth. That's what it really is. That's how it's going to impact y'all, because if we continue to remove that mask, y'all propaganda just goes whoop 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 to the whoop.